Pisces, come gather around because what I'm about to share with you today is going to absolutely blow your mind. I just finished doing this reading for you, and honestly, I had to put the cards down for a moment because the energy that came through was so intense, so revealing, that I knew this was going to be one of those readings that changes everything for you. Before we dive deep into what the universe is showing us today, I need you to understand something important. The theme that keeps coming through for Pisces right now is absolutely mind-boggling. We're talking about people who have been watching you, studying you, taking mental notes about who you are, what makes you tick, what your vulnerabilities are, and they've been using this information to try to mess with your life. But here's the thing that's going to shock you the most. You're about to find out exactly who was involved in this energy, and some of these people are going to surprise you. I know this might sound heavy right from the start, but trust me when I say that what I'm seeing in these cards is actually incredibly empowering for you. Yes, there have been people working behind the scenes. Yes, there have been schemes and plans, but the universe has been preparing you for this revelation. And more importantly, the universe has been preparing your comeback. So let me start by telling you what happened when I shuffled these cards for you. The energy was immediate and it was strong. I could feel this sense of hidden knowledge wanting to come to the surface, this feeling that secrets were ready to be exposed. And there was this underlying current of justice and karma that was just pulsing through every single card that came out. Now, the first card that practically jumped out of the deck for me was the Two of Cups. And you might be thinking, wait, isn't that supposed to be about love and partnership and harmony? Well, yes, it absolutely is, but in this context, in this reading about people who have been studying you and plotting against you, the Two of Cups is showing me something completely different and frankly quite disturbing. What I'm seeing here is that someone has been presenting themselves to you as a friend, as someone who cares about you, as someone who genuinely wants to build a connection with you. They've been showing up in your life with this energy of partnership and mutual understanding. They've been the person who listens to you, who seems to really get you, who makes you feel seen and heard. But Pisces, this has all been a performance. The Two of Cups in this position is revealing that this person, this energy of false friendship, has been using your natural Piscean empathy and your desire to connect with others against you. They knew that you would open up to someone who seemed genuine, who seemed like they really cared about your well-being. They studied your compassionate nature. They figured out exactly what you needed to hear to feel comfortable sharing your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, your insecurities. And here's what's really getting to me about this card. I can see that this person has been collecting information about you like they're building some kind of case study. Every time you shared something personal, every time you opened up about something you were struggling with, every time you revealed something about your hopes or your plans, they were taking mental notes. They were filing away this information to use later. The Two of Cups is showing me that this false friend has been particularly focused on understanding your emotional triggers. They've been learning what makes you sad, what makes you angry, what makes you feel insecure, what makes you doubt yourself. And they've been doing this not because they want to support you through these challenges, but because they want to be able to push these buttons when it serves their purpose. What's even more disturbing is that I can see this person has been mirroring back to you exactly what you needed to see in order to trust them. If you needed someone who seemed spiritually aware, they showed up as spiritually aware. If you needed someone who seemed emotionally mature, they presented themselves as emotionally mature. If you needed someone who seemed successful or ambitious, they crafted that image for you. The Two of Cups is revealing that this entire connection has been manufactured from their side. While you were being authentic and genuine in this relationship, while you were sharing real parts of yourself, they were running a psychological operation designed to extract information from you that they could later use to destabilize your life. And I can feel that this person hasn't just been studying you casually. They've been systematic about it. They've been paying attention to your patterns, your routines, your habits. They know when you're most vulnerable. They know what situations make you feel most confident. They know who the important people in your life are and what your relationships with those people look like. But here's what they didn't count on, Pisces. They didn't count on your intuition. They didn't count on the fact that even though you're trusting and open-hearted, you're also incredibly perceptive. And they certainly didn't count on the universe deciding that it was time for their deception to be exposed. The second card that came through for you is the Nine of Swords. And this card is giving me chills because of what it's revealing about the mental and emotional warfare that's been directed at you. The Nine of Swords traditionally represents anxiety, worry, sleepless nights, and mental torment. But in your reading, it's showing me that someone has been deliberately trying to create this energy in your life. They've been intentionally trying to make you anxious, trying to fill your mind with worry, trying to keep you up at night questioning yourself and your reality. What I'm seeing here is that this person or these people have been using psychological manipulation tactics to mess with your mental state. They've been planting seeds of doubt in your mind about situations that you previously felt confident about. They've been making subtle comments designed to make you second-guess your decisions, your instincts, your worth. The Nine of Swords is showing me that they've been particularly skilled at creating situations where you end up feeling confused or unsure about what's real and what isn't. They'll say something to you, then later claim they never said it. They'll make plans with you, then act like those plans never existed. They'll show enthusiasm for your ideas or projects, then subtly undermine your confidence in them. I can see that they've been studying your insecurities very carefully, and they've been using that knowledge to trigger your anxiety and self-doubt. If they know you're sensitive about a particular aspect of your appearance, they'll make comments that make you feel self-conscious about it. If they know you worry about your professional capabilities, they'll plant suggestions that make you question your competence. But what's particularly insidious about this Nine of Swords energy is that they've been doing all of this in ways that are just subtle enough that you might question whether it's actually happening. They've been gaslighting you, making you wonder if you're being too sensitive, if you're imagining things, if you're overreacting to perfectly innocent behavior. The Nine of Swords is revealing that there have been nights where you've laid awake, replaying conversations, trying to figure out what was off about them, trying to understand why interactions with this person left you feeling drained or confused or upset. Your intuition has been trying to tell you that something wasn't right, but they've been so skilled at making you doubt your own perceptions. I can see that they've also been studying your mental health patterns. They know when you're going through difficult times, when you're feeling vulnerable or overwhelmed, and those are exactly the moments when they increase their manipulation tactics. When you're already struggling, that's when they add extra pressure, extra confusion, extra doubt to your mental load. The Nine of Swords is showing me that they've been creating what I can only describe as mental chaos in your life. They've been introducing unnecessary drama, stirring up conflicts between you and other people, creating situations where you feel like you have to constantly defend yourself or explain yourself. And I want you to know that if you've been feeling like your mental health has taken a hit recently, if you've been feeling more anxious or depressed or confused than usual, this Nine of Swords energy is confirming that it's not all in your head. Someone has been deliberately trying to destabilize your mental and emotional well-being. But here's what this card is also telling me. Your mental strength is actually much greater than they anticipated. Even though they've been trying to drive you into a state of constant worry and anxiety, even though they've been trying to make you doubt your own mind, you haven't completely broken down. You haven't given them the complete mental surrender that they were hoping for. The third card that's coming through for you is the Lovers. And this is where things get really interesting because this card is showing me that their manipulation has extended into your romantic life and your closest relationships. The Lovers card typically represents choices, relationships, values, and alignment. But in this context, it's revealing that someone has been interfering with your ability to make clear choices in your love life. They've been studying your romantic patterns, your relationship preferences, your dating history, and they've been using this information to create chaos in your romantic connections. What I'm seeing here is that this person has been subtly sabotaging your romantic opportunities. If you've been dating someone they perceived as a threat to their control over you, they've found ways to plant seeds of doubt about that person. They might have made comments about how they don't think this person is right for you, how they've noticed red flags that you haven't seen, how they're just looking out for your best interests. The Lovers is showing me that they've been particularly skilled at making you question your own judgment when it comes to romantic partners. They've been studying what you're attracted to, what your relationship goals are, what your past romantic wounds are, and they've been using all of this information to influence your romantic decisions. I can see that if you've been in a relationship during this time period, this person has been working to create problems between you and your partner. They might have been sharing information about your relationship with others, creating drama or misunderstandings, or finding ways to make your partner doubt your commitment or loyalty. But the Lovers is also revealing something even more disturbing. I can see that this person might have romantic or sexual feelings for you that they've never been honest about. Their entire campaign of studying you and manipulating you might have been driven by their desire to control you because they couldn't have you in the way they wanted. The card is showing me that they've been studying your romantic responses, learning what kind of energy and attention you respond to, figuring out what makes you feel attracted to someone or emotionally connected to someone. And they've been using this knowledge either to try to make themselves more appealing to you or to sabotage other people who might be more appealing to you. What's particularly twisted about this Lover's energy is that I can see they've been presenting themselves as someone who truly cares about your romantic happiness while simultaneously working to undermine it. They've been the friend who listens to you vent about dating frustrations while secretly being part of the reason you're having those frustrations. The Lovers is also showing me that they've been studying your values and your belief systems, particularly around relationships and love. They've been learning what's important to you in partnerships, what your deal breakers are, what your relationship goals are, and they've been using this information to present themselves as aligned with your values when they're actually not. I can feel that there have been moments where they've made you question what you really want in love. They've planted suggestions that maybe you're too picky, maybe your standards are unrealistic, maybe you should settle for less than what you truly desire. They've been trying to lower your relationship standards so that you might become more available to them or to people who don't truly deserve you. But the Lovers is also revealing that despite their manipulation, your heart knows what it wants. Despite their attempts to confuse you about love and relationships, your inner wisdom about what's right for you remains intact. They haven't been able to completely corrupt your understanding of what healthy love looks like. The fourth card that came through is Justice, and this is where the energy of this reading completely shifts because Justice is telling me that the universe has been documenting everything. Justice represents karma, legal matters, truth, and fairness. In your reading, this card is revealing that there is going to be a reckoning for everything that's been done to you. The universe has been keeping score, and the time for balancing the scales is approaching rapidly. What I'm seeing with Justice is that all of the scheming, all of the manipulation, all of the psychological warfare that's been directed at you has been witnessed and recorded by the universe. Nothing they've done has gone unnoticed. Every lie they've told, every seed of doubt they've planted, every moment they've tried to destabilize your mental health or sabotage your relationships, it's all been documented. Justice is showing me that the truth about their behavior is going to come to light in a way that's undeniable. There's going to be evidence that surfaces. There are going to be witnesses who speak up. There are going to be patterns that become so obvious that even people who previously defended this person won't be able to ignore what they've been doing. I can see that multiple people are going to start comparing notes about their experiences with this person. Others who have been targets of their manipulation are going to start speaking up. People who witnessed their behavior but didn't say anything at the time are going to find their courage to tell the truth about what they saw. The Justice card is revealing that this person's entire network of deception is going to unravel. All of the different lies they've told to different people are going to be exposed as contradictory and false. All of the different personas they've presented to different audiences are going to be revealed as manufactured and manipulative. What's particularly powerful about this Justice energy is that I can see this exposure happening in a way that validates everything you've been intuiting about this situation. All of those moments where you felt like something was off, all of those times when your gut was telling you not to trust this person completely, all of those instances where you felt manipulated but couldn't quite put your finger on how justice is going to prove that your instincts were absolutely correct. Justice is also showing me that there are going to be consequences for their actions that extend beyond just their relationship with you. Their pattern of manipulation and deception is going to affect their reputation, their other relationships, possibly even their professional life. The karma that's coming for them is comprehensive and far-reaching. I can feel that some of the consequences they're going to face will mirror the exact harm they tried to cause you. If they tried to damage your reputation, their reputation is going to take a hit. If they tried to isolate you from people you care about, they're going to find themselves isolated. If they tried to make you question your sanity, they're going to experience mental and emotional distress. But justice is also revealing that this isn't just about punishment, it's about restoring balance. The energy, the peace of mind, the confidence, the trust that they tried to take from you is going to be restored. The relationships they tried to damage are going to be healed and strengthened. The opportunities they tried to block are going to open up for you again. The fifth card in your reading is Knight of Wands. And this card is absolutely electric with energy because it's showing me that someone has been watching your actions and your movements very closely, studying your patterns of behavior so they could predict and potentially interfere with your next moves. Knight of Wands represents action, adventure, impulsivity, and passionate pursuit of goals. But in this context, it's revealing that someone has been doing reconnaissance on your ambitions, your projects, your career moves, your creative endeavors, and your general life direction. What I'm seeing here is that this person has been paying very close attention to your professional life and your personal goals. They've been studying what you're passionate about, what projects you're working on, what opportunities you're pursuing, what your long-term vision is for your life. And they've been using this information to try to sabotage your progress or to steal your ideas and opportunities. The Knight of Wands is showing me that they've been particularly interested in understanding your work style, your creative process, your professional relationships, and your business strategies. They've been asking questions that seem supportive or curious, but they were actually gathering intelligence about your methods and your plans. I can see that if you've shared ideas about projects you want to start, goals you want to achieve, or opportunities you're considering, this person has been taking mental notes about all of it. They might have even been asking follow-up questions that seemed encouraging but were actually designed to get more specific information about your plans and timelines. What's particularly disturbing about this Knight of Wands energy is that I can see they've been using your natural Piscean enthusiasm and creativity against you. When you get excited about something and share that excitement with them, they've been studying not just the content of what you're sharing, but also your emotional investment in it and how important it is to you. The Knight of Wands is revealing that they've been learning about your professional connections, your mentors, your collaborators, your potential business partners. They've been mapping out your professional network so they could potentially interfere with those relationships or try to position themselves as a better option than the people you're actually meant to work with. I can feel that there have been instances where opportunities that should have come to you didn't materialize, where projects you were passionate about hit unexpected roadblocks, where professional relationships that were developing well suddenly became complicated or difficult. The Knight of Wands is suggesting that some of these setbacks weren't just bad luck. They were the result of deliberate interference. This card is also showing me that they've been studying your relationship with money and success. They've been learning about your financial goals, your money mindset, your relationship with abundance. And if they perceived that you were on the verge of a breakthrough or a significant success, they've been working to undermine your confidence or create obstacles to slow down your progress. But here's what they didn't anticipate about your Knight of Wands energy. Your passion and determination are stronger than their interference. Even though they've been trying to sabotage your progress, even though they've been creating obstacles and complications, your inner fire hasn't been extinguished. Your commitment to your goals and dreams remains intact. The Knight of Wands is also revealing that their own actions and energy are going to backfire on them. All of this time and attention they've been spending on studying you and interfering with your life has been taking away from their own progress and development. While they've been obsessed with your success, their own life has been stagnating. The sixth card that's come through for you is the Devil, and this card is giving me absolute chills because it's revealing the true nature of the energy that's been directed at you. The Devil represents temptation, manipulation, toxic patterns, addiction, and being trapped in unhealthy dynamics. In your reading, this card is showing me that the person or people who have been studying you are operating from a very dark and obsessive energy. What I'm seeing with the Devil is that this person has become completely obsessed with you and with controlling your life. Their interest in studying you isn't casual or coincidental. It's compulsive and unhealthy. They can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop watching you. They can't stop trying to influence your decisions and your experiences. The Devil is revealing that this obsession has become like an addiction for them. They're addicted to the feeling of power they get from manipulating you. They're addicted to having access to information about your private life. They're addicted to being able to influence your emotions and your mental state. This behavior has become a compulsion that they can't control. I can see that this person genuinely believes they have some kind of claim over you or right to control your life. The Devil is showing me that they've created a fantasy in their mind where you belong to them in some way, where they're entitled to know everything about you and influence everything you do. What's particularly disturbing about this Devil energy is that I can see they've been using spiritual or psychological manipulation tactics to try to bind you to them energetically. They might have been doing things like thinking about you obsessively, visualizing scenarios where you need them or depend on them, or even engaging in darker practices designed to create energetic cords or attachments between you. The Devil is revealing that they've been studying not just your conscious thoughts and behaviors, but also your subconscious patterns and triggers. They've been learning how to access parts of your psyche that even you might not be fully aware of. They've been trying to create a sense of dependence where you feel like you need them in your life, even when your conscious mind knows they're not good for you. I can feel that this person has been particularly focused on understanding your shadow aspects, your fears, your insecurities, your guilt, your shame. They've been learning how to trigger these shadow emotions in you because they know that when you're in your shadow, you're more susceptible to manipulation and control. The Devil is also showing me that they've been trying to normalize toxic behavior in your life. They've been gradually pushing boundaries, escalating their manipulation tactics, trying to get you accustomed to accepting treatment that you never would have accepted from someone else. They've been trying to train you to tolerate their toxicity. But here's what the Devil is also revealing. Their obsession with you is actually their own prison. While they've been trying to trap you in toxic patterns and unhealthy dynamics, they've actually trapped themselves. Their life has become consumed by this unhealthy fixation on you, and it's destroying them from the inside out. The Devil is showing me that all of their manipulation tactics, all of their schemes and strategies are ultimately going to backfire on them. The toxic energy they've been projecting toward you is going to return to them multiplied. The obsession that they thought would give them power over you is going to become the source of their own downfall. The seventh card in your reading is Death. And before you worry, this card is actually bringing incredibly positive energy because death represents transformation, endings, rebirth, and the clearing away of what no longer serves. In the context of this reading about people who have been studying you and trying to mess with your life, death is telling me that this entire situation is coming to an end. The chapter of your life where you've been unknowingly subjected to manipulation and psychological warfare is closing, and a new chapter of empowerment and clarity is beginning. Death is showing me that you are going through a complete transformation in terms of your ability to recognize manipulation and protect yourself from it. All of the confusion, all of the self-doubt, all of the mental fog that their tactics created in your life is clearing away. You're experiencing a death of your old naive self and a rebirth of your empowered, discerning self. What I'm seeing here is that this experience, as difficult and disturbing as it's been, has actually been serving a higher purpose in your spiritual development. The universe allowed the situation to play out so that you could develop stronger boundaries, sharper intuition, and a deeper understanding of human psychology and manipulation tactics. Death is revealing that you're letting go of your old patterns of being too trusting, too open, too willing to give people the benefit of the doubt even when your intuition is warning you otherwise. You're learning to honor your gut feelings, to trust your first impressions, to pay attention when someone's energy feels off to you. I can see that this transformation is affecting every area of your life. Death is showing me that you're ending toxic relationships not just with this person, but with anyone who has been taking advantage of your kind and generous nature. You're becoming much more selective about who gets access to your time, your energy, your trust, and your personal information. The Death card is also revealing that you're experiencing a death of your old relationship with fear and anxiety. All of the mental torment that was deliberately created in your life is being cleared away. You're no longer going to be kept awake at night by manipulative mind games. You're no longer going to second-guess your own reality because of someone else's gaslighting. What's particularly powerful about this death energy is that I can see you're not just recovering from this situation. You're becoming stronger and more powerful than you were before it happened. You're developing psychic abilities and intuitive gifts that are going to protect you from manipulation for the rest of your life. Death is showing me that this person's ability to affect your life is literally dying. Their manipulation tactics aren't going to work on you anymore because you've developed immunity to them. Their psychological warfare strategies are powerless against your new level of awareness and discernment. But death is also revealing that this transformation is happening on a soul level. You're not just changing your behavior or your thought patterns, you're literally becoming a different person. The version of yourself that was susceptible to their manipulation no longer exists. A new, more empowered version of yourself is being born. The 8th card that's come through for you is the Hanged Man. And this card is incredibly significant because it's showing me that you've been in a period of suspension and waiting. But this suspension is about to end with a major shift in perspective. The Hanged Man represents suspension, seeing things from a different angle, patience, and spiritual insights gained through difficult experiences. In your reading, this card is revealing that all of the time you've spent feeling confused, stuck, or uncertain about this situation has actually been preparing you for a major revelation and breakthrough. What I'm seeing with the Hanged Man is that you've been in a period where you couldn't quite figure out what was happening to you, where you knew something was off but you couldn't put your finger on exactly what it was. You've been suspended in this state of knowing something wasn't right but not having enough information to take action. The Hanged Man is showing me that this period of uncertainty and suspension has been serving a divine purpose. While you've been feeling stuck and confused, your intuitive abilities have been developing and strengthening. Your psychic perception has been getting sharper. Your ability to read energy and see through deception has been growing stronger. I can see that during this suspended period, you've been receiving downloads and insights about human nature, about manipulation tactics, about the psychology of toxic people. Even though you might not have consciously understood what was happening to you, your soul has been learning and gathering information that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. The Hanged Man is revealing that your perspective on this entire situation is about to completely shift. All of the pieces of the puzzle that have been scattered and confusing are going to suddenly click into place. You're going to see the full picture of what's been happening to you, who's been involved, and how they've been operating. What's particularly powerful about this Hanged Man energy is that I can see you're going to gain perspective, not just on this specific situation, but on patterns in your life that have been repeating. You're going to understand how your natural compassion and empathy have been used against you in various relationships and situations throughout your life. The Hanged Man is also showing me that this experience is giving you wisdom and insight that's going to help you help other people who are going through similar situations. Your ability to recognize manipulation and psychological warfare is going to become one of your gifts. You're going to be able to spot toxic behavior and warn others about it. I can feel that the period of waiting and uncertainty is almost over. The Hanged Man is telling me that you're about to be released from this suspended state. The clarity you've been waiting for is coming. The answers you've been seeking are about to be revealed. The power that's been temporarily taken from you is about to be restored. But the Hanged Man is also revealing that this entire experience has been part of your spiritual initiation. You've been going through a process of death and rebirth, of learning to see through illusion, of developing discernment and wisdom. This difficult period has been preparing you for a much more empowered phase of your life. The 9th card in your reading is 2 of Pentacles, and this card is showing me something really important about how this person has been interfering with your practical life, your finances, your work, and your material stability. 2 of Pentacles represents juggling multiple responsibilities, trying to maintain balance in practical matters, and dealing with fluctuations in resources or stability. In this context, it's revealing that someone has been deliberately creating chaos and instability in your practical life. What I'm seeing here is that this person has been studying your financial situation, your work patterns, your practical responsibilities, and they've been finding ways to create additional stress and pressure in these areas. They've been making your life more difficult to manage, forcing you to constantly juggle problems and challenges that wouldn't have existed without their interference. The 2 of Pentacles is showing me that they've been particularly focused on destabilizing your sense of financial security. If you've been working on building savings, starting a business, pursuing a new career opportunity, or trying to achieve greater financial stability, they've been working behind the scenes to create obstacles and complications. I can see that they've been studying your relationship with money and your practical decision-making process. They've been learning about your financial goals, your money fears, your spending patterns, your saving strategies, and they've been using this knowledge to trigger financial anxiety and create situations where you have to spend money unexpectedly or miss out on income opportunities. The 2 of Pentacles is revealing that there have been times when you felt like you couldn't catch a break in your practical life. Just when things seemed to be stabilizing financially or professionally, something unexpected would happen that would throw everything into chaos again. This card is suggesting that some of these practical challenges weren't just bad luck. They were manufactured drama designed to keep you in a state of stress and instability. What's particularly insidious about this 2 of Pentacles energy is that I can see they've been timing their interference to coincide with moments when you were already stretched thin or dealing with legitimate challenges. When you were already struggling to balance multiple responsibilities, that's when they would add extra complications to your life. I can feel that they've been studying your work relationships, your professional reputation, your career ambitions. If they perceived that you were on the verge of a professional breakthrough or a significant improvement in your financial situation, they've been working to sabotage those opportunities or delay their manifestation. The 2 of Pentacles is also showing me that they've been trying to make you financially dependent on them or emotionally grateful for their help during difficult times. They might have created problems in your practical life and then position themselves as the solution or the source of support, creating a cycle where you feel indebted to them. But here's what they didn't anticipate about your 2 of Pentacles energy. Your natural Piscean adaptability and resourcefulness are much stronger than their interference. Even though they've been trying to destabilize your practical life, even though they've been creating artificial challenges and obstacles, you've managed to keep juggling everything and finding ways to make things work. The 2 of Pentacles is revealing that all of the extra stress and complications they've added to your practical life have actually made you stronger and more capable. You've developed problem-solving skills, resilience, and resourcefulness that you wouldn't have developed otherwise. Their attempts to weaken you practically have actually empowered you. The final card in your reading is Page of Pentacles. And this card is bringing such hopeful and empowering energy because it's showing me that despite everything you've been through, despite all the manipulation and interference, you are entering a phase of new learning, new opportunities, and fresh starts in your material world. Page of Pentacles represents new beginnings in practical matters, learning new skills, opportunities for growth, and a fresh approach to material success. In your reading, this card is telling me that all of the chaos and instability that was created in your practical life is clearing away. And you're about to enter a period of genuine progress and positive manifestation. What I'm seeing here is that you're developing a completely new relationship with your practical life, your career, your finances, and your material goals. All of the lessons you've learned through dealing with manipulation and sabotage have given you wisdom and skills that are going to serve you incredibly well moving forward. The Page of Pentacles is showing me that you're approaching your practical life with fresh eyes and new strategies. You've learned to be more cautious about who you share your plans with, more strategic about how you pursue opportunities, more protective of your resources and energy. This new approach is going to lead to much greater success and stability. I can see that new opportunities are coming into your life that are going to be completely untainted by the toxic energy that's been surrounding you. These opportunities are going to come through clean channels, through people who genuinely support your success, through paths that haven't been contaminated by manipulation or interference. The Page of Pentacles is revealing that you're entering a learning phase where you're going to develop new skills and capabilities that make you much more powerful in your practical life. You might be learning about business, about investing, about creating multiple income streams, about building genuine wealth and security for yourself. What's particularly exciting about this Page of Pentacles energy is that I can see you're going to become much more discerning about business relationships and professional partnerships. You're going to be able to spot people who have hidden agendas or who are trying to take advantage of your ideas or your energy. This discernment is going to protect your practical success. The Page of Pentacles is also showing me that you're going to become much more systematic and organized in your approach to achieving your material goals. All of the chaos and confusion that was created in your practical life has taught you the value of having solid systems, clear boundaries, and reliable processes. I can feel that this new phase of your practical life is going to be characterized by steady, sustainable progress, rather than the ups and downs and manufactured drama that you've been dealing with. You're going to experience a sense of stability and security that's been missing from your life for a while. But what's most powerful about this Page of Pentacles energy is that it's showing me you're not just recovering from what was done to you, you're actually going to end up in a much better position than you were in before any of this manipulation started. The skills, wisdom, and discernment you've developed are going to accelerate your success in ways that never would have happened otherwise. Now let me bring all of these cards together for you and tell you what this reading is really revealing about your situation. The overall message that's coming through is that someone close to you, someone who presented themselves as a friend or supportive figure, has been running what I can only describe as a psychological operation against you. They've been systematically studying your personality, your vulnerabilities, your goals, your relationships, your financial situation, everything about your life, and they've been using this information to manipulate and destabilize you. This hasn't been casual manipulation or garden variety toxicity. This has been deliberate, calculated, obsessive behavior designed to undermine your confidence, sabotage your opportunities, interfere with your relationships, and keep you in a state of confusion and dependence. But here's what's absolutely incredible about what I'm seeing in these cards. This experience is actually serving your highest good in ways that are going to become clear to you very soon. The universe allowed this manipulation to happen because it was time for you to develop much stronger boundaries, much sharper discernment, and much more powerful protective abilities. You are about to find out exactly who was involved in this energy, and some of the people are going to shock you. People you trusted, people you confided in, people you thought were genuinely supportive, have been part of this campaign to mess with your life. But the revelation of their true nature is going to be incredibly liberating for you. The karma that's coming for these people is going to be swift and comprehensive. Everything they tried to do to you is going to backfire on them in spectacular ways. The reputation damage they tried to cause you is going to happen to them instead. The isolation they tried to create in your life is going to become their reality. The mental torment they tried to inflict on you is going to become their experience. But more importantly, you are emerging from this experience as a completely transformed person. You're developing psychic abilities that are going to protect you for the rest of your life. You're gaining wisdom about human nature that's going to help you navigate all of your future relationships with much greater discernment and power. The practical areas of your life that they tried to destabilize are going to become sources of incredible strength and success for you. The relationships they tried to sabotage are going to be healed and strengthened. The confidence they tried to undermine is going to be restored and amplified beyond what it ever was before. And here's something really important I want you to understand. Your natural Piscean compassion and empathy aren't weaknesses that made you vulnerable to this manipulation. They're actually gifts that are going to be incredibly powerful once you learn how to protect them with proper boundaries and discernment. The universe is showing me that you have a special role to play in helping other people who are going through similar situations. Your ability to recognize manipulation, your understanding of psychological warfare tactics, your insights into the minds of toxic people, these are going to become tools that help you protect not just yourself, but other people who are being targeted by manipulative individuals. I can see that you're entering a phase of your life where you're going to be much more selective about who gets access to your energy, your time, your trust, and your personal information. You're going to develop what I can only describe as energetic sovereignty, complete control over your own energy field, and complete protection from people who try to manipulate or drain you. The people who have been studying you and trying to mess with your life are about to learn that they picked the wrong person to target. Your spiritual power, your intuitive abilities, your connection to divine justice and protection are much stronger than they realized. The universe has been preparing you for this revelation and this empowerment all along. But I also want you to know that this experience hasn't damaged you in any permanent way. Yes, it's been difficult and confusing and sometimes painful, but you haven't been broken by it. You've been strengthened by it. You've been prepared by it for a much more powerful and protected phase of your life. The confusion is clearing, the truth is being revealed, the justice is being served, the transformation is complete. And your new chapter of empowerment, success, and genuine happiness is beginning right now. I want to end this reading by telling you something really important. If you've been feeling like you're going crazy, if you've been doubting your own perceptions, if you've been wondering if you're being too paranoid or too suspicious about this person's behavior, trust what you've been feeling. Your intuition has been trying to protect you this entire time. Your gut feelings about this situation have been absolutely accurate. The universe has been sending you signs and signals about this person's true nature, and now all of those signs are going to make perfect sense. All of those moments when something felt off, all of those times when your energy felt drained after spending time with them, all of those instances when you felt manipulated but couldn't quite figure out how, you were reading the situation correctly all along. Your psychic abilities are much stronger than you realize, Pisces. Your ability to feel energy, to sense people's true intentions, to pick up on deception and manipulation, these are real gifts. And this experience has been developing and strengthening these gifts in preparation for the next phase of your life. So trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust your feelings. Trust your perceptions. Everything you've been sensing about this situation is true. And very soon, you're going to have all the validation and confirmation you need. The manipulation ends now. The confusion clears now. The empowerment begins now. And the people who thought they could study you and mess with your life are about to learn exactly how powerful a Pisces can be when they finally see the truth and decide to protect themselves. You are so much stronger than they ever imagined, and your comeback is going to be absolutely incredible to witness.